What's going on in Madison County at the health department? So they've got this idea that wind turbines are bad, this kind of the strobe flickers from the blades plus the noise. They didn't say it causes cancer, but it can give you headaches and stuff. So what are you going to do about
Well, there's great support in the state of Iowa for our leadership in renewable energy, and we've seen that back since the 1980s. And so, we lead the country in wind energy, and we're able to attract businesses to the state of Iowa because they want that renewable energy to be a part of their portfolio. We're an all of the above state. We have a very diverse energy policy. Advanced manufacturing is the number one sector of our GDP, and so we know while we insert renewable energy into the portfolio, we also want to continue to maintain the low cost of doing business. That sets us apart from other states. We're always in the top 3, and so we want to continue to do that as well. But what I've seen and what I hear, and I'm sure there's going to be people that have different opinions, but if you go out into rural Iowa, especially with the farmers facing what they're facing right now, that's an opportunity for some of our farm families to have additional income. It's an opportunity for local government to also get some additional income as well. And so they've tried to be very respectful of the farm families, and I've sat down with both sides of the equation, so I've met with people that have some concerns, and we will continue to do that and make sure that we're mindful as we move forward.
But do you think they're unhealthy or not?
Listen, I support the industry. I've said that, until I see some data to show us otherwise, but we are proud to be a leader in renewable energy, but that includes wind and solar, and as soon as we can figure out how to store it, we're going to be a leader, because then we're actually generating more than we are consuming, and so there's an opportunity for us to export that, so we should be looking for opportunities to do that as well. I'm not in a position to say yes or no, but we'll continue to meet with them, we'll continue to look at it, and we'll see what the data says. But right now, proud of where we're at, and proud of the industry, proud to be a leader in renewable, and we just did Renewable Wind Day, Wind Week, I think. We signed a proclamation yesterday at the State Fairgrounds.
Secretary, in a position to say yes or no, then that could be.
No, okay, don't put words in my mouth. I said I would sit down. Well, I don't have all the facts in front of me, so if they want to sit down with me and they want to talk to me about some of the information that they've been gathering, I'll meet with them. I have before. We'll continue to do that. We'll continue to bring stakeholders together at the table and try to address any concerns that they may have, listen to what they are, take a look at some of the data that if they have data, and I'm sure they do, to present to us, we'll take a look at that. But I'm not an expert. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not an expert in it, so I can be a gatherer of stakeholders, take that information, and then try to either confirm or deny or whatever we need to do with it going forward.
Might there be a need to have legislation like you've done on plastic bags and local ordinances in the minimum wage and local livestock ordinances to have a statewide rule for wind turbines?
Well, that's something they could take a look at, sit down and talk to the legislators and see where they're at. Right now, I'm going to continue to focus on what I see as the biggest barrier to economic growth in this state. Business and industry tell me every day they've seen great growth, they're projecting growth, they just need workers. And that's an opportunity for Iowans, that's an opportunity for rural Iowa. We talk a lot about making sure that Iowa's success is Iowans' success. So I'm going to focus on Future Ready Iowa, work-based learning, apprenticeship programs, working with communities all across the state, making sure that we're upskilling Iowans to match them up with the jobs that are available. Housing is another issue, and broadband connectivity. So, but we need to be competitive, so that's part of the economic advantages, our low cost of doing business, so that's a component of it. But we can continue to, take a look at that, or, walk through what some of their issues may be. So I'm willing to sit down with them.
Would that be a barrier to economic growth, though, if they're recommending that turbines be built a mile and a half away from any homes?
Well, that's part of the discussion. I mean, that's some of the stuff you'll have to take a look at. Right now, I can tell you it's an economic advantage for our farm families. It's an advantage for local governments. They have to decide. This is a local decision. So that's another component of this, and they set it up that way. They had to do so many town halls, I think, meetings before they would even be okayed. So there's a real local government component to this, and that's the elected officials that are closest to the individuals that they represent. So I would hope that if there is a lot of concern, that's maybe from the grassroots as some of the ways that we can start to address that.
Governor, can I go back to wind for a sec?
Sure.
Do you think when people hear you tonight saying that you can't really assure other with any potential health issues, even if they're minor, that some people are going to kind of freak a little bit?
Well, that's not what I said. I sort of said, or if I did, I maybe wasn't clear enough. What I'm saying is I look forward to continuing to sit down with them, to hear their concerns, to take a look at the data that they may have so that we can further research it, just like SNAP, dig into the details, dig into the data, verify or maybe address some of the concerns that they may have. So I've done it already, so we'll continue to do that. So I would encourage them to call my office, set up an appointment with my team, and we will sit down and talk through what some of their concerns are and see if we can't find some answers. So that's what I want them to hear, that we'd be willing to sit down and see. But until, Dave, I see what that data is and see, what they're utilizing for some of their concerns, it's hard for me to stand here and say one way or another what we're going to do. But so that's part of my job, is to gather with my team the information and then move forward from that.